I could remember. All I want is take me down. All this time I've been trapped in, not knowing where my heart is. I've been telling myself to stop. Just make me whole.
Don't play with my heart. Just let me go. Please let me go. You like to love so hard and then you throw it away. You like to open skies and then you blame it on me. You're someone I can never be with. You joke about my flaws and weaknesses. What you love so hard and then just throw it away. You opened up my heart and just to close it on me. Don't blame it on me. Don't blame it on me. So don't you blame it on me. You never knew how bad it was. Guess you never really cared because you said your parents never gave you hugs. And as a child you were never loved. You made me love so hard, but then you threw it away. You like to open skies and then you blame it on me. You're someone I can never be with. You joke about my flaws and weaknesses. What you love so hard and then just throw it away. You opened up my heart and just to close it on me. Don't blame it on me. Don't you blame it on me. Open skies. You open all my scars and then you blame it on me. You're someone I can never be. You joke about my flaws and weaknesses. So don't blame it on me. Don't blame it on me. Don't blame it on me.
I got trapped in your eyes the moment you looked at me. From across the room, those eyes kept following me. Something popped in my brain, oh baby, only you I see. Feels like I'm going insane and only you can save me. Feels like I'm drowning in ocean's blue. Baby, come on, baby, baby, come on, let's go. I'm losing control of the lights in this space. Keep jumping around, all I see is your face. But you're moving closer, no time to escape. Your hand on my shoulder. trapped in your touch the moment you took my hand. Led me all the way to the ocean sand. You told me don't worry as the moonlight gled. I pulled you in close, whispered I'm not scared. I'm losing control, the lights in the space keep jumping around. All I see is your face, but you're moving closer, no time to escape. Your hand on my shoulder shoots me into space, and I can't deny how badly I need you now. I need you now. I need you now. I need you now. I need you now.
Welcome in, everyone. Hey, Jubilee, hi to Hill. Steph isn't here yet. Probably, I don't know how long she's gonna take. But we can do some daily games while we wait for her to show up. Where the heck is my list of daily games? Here it is. Switch to the other screen. Costco, that's a classic, right? How much is this at Costco? What is it? White queso? Queso Mama white queso with green chilies, 32 ounces. So queso, is that like a cheese-based sauce? I think that's what it is. How much would this be at Costco? 32 ounces. How much is... So a can of Coke is 12 ounces. So this is like a little bit less than 3 cans of Cokes worth of cheese sauce. Queso is a cheese-based sauce, yes. So what are we thinking? I have a number in mind, but I don't want to say it because I don't want to bias your guys' answers. I'll say it after someone else says a number. 12.49. Dang, I was gonna say $6. 12.49. All right, let's try it. Here it is. 12.49. Much lower. Okay, let's try mine. $6. A little bit higher. Okay. So like 750 maybe? 769? Yeah, okay. We're thinking the same thing basically. Oh, a little bit lower. $6.69? $6.99. Pretty good. Alright, what's the next one? Where the heck is my tab with all my daily games? Oh, here it is. Household? Less than $8 for 3 pounds of queso. Costco stays undefeated. Yeah, but you need... It's like $100 or something like that to get a membership, right? Oh, maybe Steph is here. Let me call her again. No, household doesn't work. How about listed? Oh, Steph is on the call, but Steph, you're muted. You have to click the unmute button in Discord, I think. And then we'll be able to hear you. There's like...
Okay.
Oh, I can hear you now.
I didn't want to allow it. Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
How are you doing?
I'm okay. Why do you sound sick still?
Because I'm still sick.
Stop being sick.
I'm trying.
You don't sound like you're trying very hard.
I'm trying super hard.
Super hard?
A little hard.
A little hard. Okay, that sounds more like it.
Hi,
Why don't you
Chakar.
try harder?
Welcome in, Chakar. Are you able to see my screen, Steph?
Yes.
How much is this house?
How much is this house? It is... Where is it located?
See this location here? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it is... $839,000.
Nope. It is lower than that. and it's in
Oh, wow.
Waconia,
Because it's
Minnesota.
in Waconia, Minnesota. All right, $727,000.
Lower than that, and it's a single family home as property type.
Oh my God, I'm gonna buy this house.
Yeah, what
once
the
you
heck?
find out how much it costs.
Let's move to Minnesota. What the heck?
Yeah, no kidding.
So now how much?
650.
Lower. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms.
I don't understand. Is this distressed property? What's happening? You guess.
I guess 300,000.
No, that's too low.
Okay, now it's higher than that. Well, at least we have a lower bound. That
All right, fine, fine.
1988 it was built.
I guess split the difference between those two guesses.
Which is what?
Uh,
How do I see our old guess? Like, I see the last guess.
it
What was the guess before that?
650, I think.
Oh, wait, there
It
we
was
go.
650 before that. So,
Um, 9.
5.
Yeah, 4, 5.
475.
Lower.
Wow.
2,000 square feet. 2,460 square feet.
Jesus. Well, like, when is this supposed price?
Higher than 350. It was sold on January 8th, 2025.
That's insane.
So 400. Oops.
Four
Oh,
million.
a little bit higher. I think that's what that symbol means.
Cha-ching.
420, of course.
Wow.
Steph,
That's amazing.
how have you been? It's been too long.
It's been a long time.
We
It's a
haven't
new year.
seen each other since Thanksgiving or something like that.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Little bear test redeem hydrate, so we're hydrating.
Oh, let me hydrate. Hour 8. Oh my God, I don't even have my phone in my pocket. How am I supposed to get credit for these steps? I've been good. Why have you been so sick?
Well, I went to Montreal, and then
Yeah. That's dangerous.
I was in contact with humans, which
Oh my
normally
God.
I never do.
Right.
And so now I got extremely sick because because all the viruses are like, finally, right? Like, access
Yeah.
to this body. We've been waiting
Yeah.
for this guy.
Yeah.
So, like,
This
you
is why
know,
you should never come into contact with people.
yeah. So then they all invaded me, and I probably got like 8 different diseases or something. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I suspect it's 2
Have the
different ones
doctors figured it out yet?
because I got no, I probably they probably never will, right? Because I'm feeling better,
Right.
so I'm probably not gonna go back.
Right.
But like I got pretty sick. Symptoms first showed up December 22nd, and then December 27th I was better. But then like 2 days later, there was December 29th, maybe, I guess, I got sick again, and like without contact of people. So it was like one invaded me, and then it was done, and then the next one was like, okay, my turn now, and then
Maybe. Many illnesses have a bimodal.
I've never seen any illness have a
Presentation.
bimodal.
Well, they do. A thing.
Nope, that's fake.
Okay.
Fake news.
Not a thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Where the heck is?
Did you get bronchitis? Did you get?
How do
you
I
have
know?
pneumonia?
How would I know?
I mean, like, what kind of? Did they put you on antibiotics? Did they put you
No,
on?
they gave me benzonatate to suppress the cough,
Okay.
and they gave me I forget what it's called, but it's some sort of throat steroid for I forget why. The doctor, when she examined me, she was like, like everything says it's a virus, or no, everything. What did she say? I forget what she said. Everything points to one thing, which she said what it was, but I forgot now. Except that I didn't have a fever, so that is weird that I didn't have a fever.
Right.
But she also said she thinks by the time she examined me, which was like January 7th or something like that, she said she thinks the virus left my body, and I'm just I'm like there's some sort of self-perpetuating machine thing going on, where because I'm coughing
Right.
it inflames my throat, which makes me cough more. So she said just take
Right.
this to suppress a cough, and then you'll get better. which is what
Okay.
happened, I guess.
Is happening.
Is happening. But I mean, I am a lot better now, even though, like, from your perspective, I'm probably worse because you didn't
Right.
see me, during the bad parts.
Right.
You're only seeing the worse than before, but still.
That part. Yeah. This neighborhood's gentrifying.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, but yeah. We have to do like 20 hours of just chatting and then like 2 minutes of gameplay because of how much
All right.
to catch up for everything.
Fantastic.
TikTok is getting banned. Have
Might
you-
be, yeah.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
So like, I forget when. Like I guess it's been like a year maybe that they said they were gonna ban it, and then the deadline is like this weekend or something. And they still haven't, like, the government was like, you gotta sell to TikTok, you gotta sell yourself to an American company or you're banned.
Right.
And then so everyone's like, well, they're gonna, like, Trump is gonna step in or they're gonna sell themselves or something, like, right? But then now the deadline's coming up, it's this weekend and nothing's happened, so you're like, oh shit, is it really gonna get banned?
Hard to know.
And the government's...
Go on TikTok a lot?
Sorry?
Do you go on TikTok a lot?
Yeah, I go on TikTok. Like, I'm always on TikTok.
All right.
I think you have a poor opinion of TikTok, but I have a high opinion of it. I see it like...
I don't go on social media, so...
Yeah, but
not
I think
TikTok
you
in
specifically... No, I think you do specifically have a poor opinion of TikTok. Because when I talk about
No,
TikTok, you're like...
I've never been on it. I don't have it. I like sometimes people send me things on it and I can occasionally watch them, but sometimes I can't.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, you send me more things than all of the rest of my friends combined.
Well, I remember, like, I said, like, oh, I don't read that much these days. And you're like, oh, because of TikTok, right? And, And I'm like, no, not because of TikTok.
I think that's how that conversation
We
went.
had
But
this
all right.
conversation. It's, like, probably clipped somewhere.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I told you, no, it's because I'm doing the Zeitgeisten method. You remember this conversation? And then you're like, oh yeah, Zeitgeisten. How's that going for you? And then we had this whole...
Sure. That part sounds like me.
Yeah, but the thing is, you were teasing me, I guess, by saying, like, it's because I'm always on TikTok. That's why I don't read anymore.
Oh, well then maybe I just have a poor opinion of you and not TikTok.
Anyway, you know why the government says they're banning TikTok?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they are worried that China could have access to our information.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
a
national
state
security thing.
government. Yes.
They think China is using TikTok to spy on people. Like, the idea being
Or could
that
use it,
the app ByteDance is technically not a Chinese company. I guess it's Singaporean. The CEO is Singaporean anyway. I'm not sure where the company is based, but they're owned by another company, which is Chinese. And the idea is the owning company might be pressuring TikTok to, like, give me all your user data or something like that.
Technically, if the Chinese government says to the company, we need your data, the way their laws are set up, the company would have to comply.
Well, I mean, it's
They're like state owned.
at the first level approximation, sure, right? But like, it gets more, like, real life is more complicated.
Yeah.
Like, you can see, like, for example, like Elon Musk, for example, regularly flouts the law, right? And like, it's flabbergasting because this is not supposed to happen, right? Like, like he lives in the U.S. He all his assets are in the U.S. Why can't the U.S. government prosecute him? It's like, this is a bizarro thing going on where. Chakar, yeah, exactly. So what Chakar said is where I was going to go next. So the government's like, oh, we can't let the Chinese government get the users' data, right? So all the TikTok people, all the TikTok users, not all of them, but I guess a lot of them, are like, well, since you're banning TikTok, we're going to switch to Xiaohongshu, which is a Chinese version of TikTok, kind of. That's like explicitly owned by a Chinese company, and they're like, and here's all my user data, right? Like, here you go. Instead of giving it to a Singaporean company, which might leak it to the Chinese They just give it to the Chinese.
Yes, it's a game of brinksmanship, and I imagine the U.S. is gonna blink.
Brinksmanship and blink, right? The R and the L, two distinct sounds.
Yeah.
Is that a coincidence or what? Like, because I never made that connection. I feel like it might be a coincidence.
I think it's a coincidence.
Did you say coincidence?
I didn't.
Because
But it might
that's
have
what it
come out
sounded
like
like. So yeah, so on my TikTok feed, I'm getting all these like Mandarin lessons now, right? Like, because all the people are like, oh, I'm switching to Xiaohongshu, and here's how you say hello in Mandarin. Here, here's how you say I'm a TikTok refugee in Mandarin. And so then these Americans are learning Mandarin so that they can use Xiaohongshu. And apparently the Xiaohongshu people are pretty welcoming, mostly.
Okay.
They're interested in American culture. They're like, tell us about America. We'll tell you about China. Let's have culture exchange of ideas. Some of them,
You know what none of those people are doing? Reading.
some of them were annoyed because like there's different social norms.
Sure.
And like there's this idea of space invading, like you come to our place,
Yeah.
and you're behaving
Right.
in ways that could be rude or impolite, but I guess you don't know any better, but it's still annoying, right? Like I guess that's
Right.
the perspective from their side.
Right.
But it's just, I guess it's amusing to me that if the goal of the US government was to prevent Chinese access to the data, it's really badly backfired.
Yeah, I think there's more to it than like what suburban teens are doing with their data. I think that there is some other thing happening besides the behind the scenes. But who knows?
There's a lot of conspiracy theory, like Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg is calling in a favor from Trump or something like that to get TikTok
Right.
banned so that Facebook gets more market share, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's some sort of national security risk that I don't understand that is causing.
Well, I think there is like a vague
Yeah, I think there's even one behind that though.
well, I don't know which one. The thing
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking about is like there's this vague fear, like any one particular guy, like like a teenager, like you said, who gives a shit, right?
Right.
But if you have like millions of like
All
data
of
points
their data.
of like
Yeah.
here's, because you have the phone location data, right? So you say here are where all the Americans are living, like dots on the map, and you can see their routes and going to work, going to school or whatever. Then you can do more strategic, like nuking or whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
so, but like it's kind of a theoretical fear for me, at least. I don't know
Right.
that the Chinese can actually weaponize that data in aggregate, but who knows?
Right, it's hard to know. I don't know what they can do with it. I think they're more worried about some sort of propaganda type situation, like some sort of soft propaganda.
But if they are worried about that, then this is the massive failure, right? Because now, like the TikTok population hates the U.S. government. They love China now. They're signing up they're learning Mandarin.
Yeah, I think though you need a critical mass, right? Like all the people who left Twitter and are going to Blue Sky, and like it's not going to last because they just don't have enough critical mass and diversity
Yeah.
over there, and so it's just going to fizzle out. And I think that's what they're hoping, is that it will cause people to flee to a bunch of other, or what they think could happen, that like it could cause the teens to flee to a bunch of things, and you don't really have to worry about that so much. Like pissing off small portions of your population is fine, especially if they're teenagers, but having them all somewhere deeply addicted to a product that China could use for soft propaganda, I think they're worried about. I don't know. I don't know how credible that threat is, but I think that's partly what's on their mind.
Right. Um, so I have like a million TikTok videos to play through right now because I have to play them all before this weekend, before it goes down. So let's get through them.
Okay.
Hello guys, this is your Chinese spy speaking. I want to post this video before it's too late. I guess we are not going to see each other again in the future. That's why I have something to say. It is a great honor to spy on you for the last few years. I wish you all have a great life in the future. Now is something personal. Laura from California, you shouldn't drink that much Coca-Cola. It is bad for your health. And also Peter from New York, you mama loves you. You shouldn't treat her like that, okay? And Stephanie from Texas, don't send your nude picture to the guy called Marvin. He's a fuckboy. He's talking to other girls as well. Nice deeds, by the way. I think that's all I have to say. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.
I cannot believe that I don't get my own personal spy. Like, wait, my spy is sharing
we
with
all
other
get
people?
our. Well, yeah. I mean, there might be shifts, right? So you might have
I
like
am so
3
insulted.
different spies assigned to you,
Right,
and also
but I thought they were all assigned to me.
Julie
I
says,
can't believe they are cheating on me with other Americans.
Julie says, Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Birthday, Steph.
Happy all the holidays to you.
Shout out to the Chinese spy looking after me all these years. It's been great. I hope you find another gig. This one goes out to you. 雪花飘飘，北风萧萧，见底一片苍茫。
Is that like the Chinese version of closing time?
I have no idea what, but like for someone, a different guy, different TikToker mentioned that TikTok's origin was music sharing originally before it became,
Oh, yeah.
and so there's a lot of features that are related to music, which had a factor in what songs go viral. He's basically doing some anthropology type thing, right? Analysis of saying how it affects the virality of music and how the TikTok ban might have like how music might have or musicians might have to change their habits or work style, and that might affect what songs go viral in the future. But one of the things he's talking about is like, here you see what it says. Here's his original sound, Cool Cammy, meaning like, you know, this isn't a song from anywhere. But you have lots of videos where like it's like people lip syncing or dancing to songs, and they'll say what the song is, and that's an example of the music focusedness of TikTok.
You understand I'm like morally opposed to social media, right? And you're forcing me to watch it.
So you click on this, and then you can see all the other videos that also use this audio, which probably none of them would use this specific one because it's, you know, her speaking, but in principle. You're morally opposed to social media? I thought you were just, what would the word be? Intellectually opposed to it?
I think I'm morally opposed to it.
What's your moral case?
I think that it is destroying the few good things about human interaction.
And a few good things on you.
It's-
You don't think like
It's eating away
I
at
thought
the fabric of our community.
I thought the default sense is that human interaction is by default good, and then like, you know, certain things make it bad. But you're saying it's mostly bad. There's a few good things about it, but then social media is destroying even that.
Yes. Humans are hypersocial, which leads to lots of good things, but also leads to lots of bad things. Like it leads us to bully and ostracize and dominate and cheat and lie and do all kinds of things that you might consider amoral. And I think
Immoral, I guess.
in general, yeah, um, uh, related to morality is what I meant by that. Sorry. And we've been successful because the good things outweigh the bad things by a hair. And I think TikTok has tipped us over the edge. Social media, not TikTok in particular. And that now the bad things are starting to outweigh the good.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm persuaded by your thesis. I see TikTok and social media in general kind of like the invention of writing, you know? It's like you can write mean things, you can write nice things or whatever. I don't see social media necessarily amplifying the bad parts of human interactions more than the good parts.
I wasn't trying to convince you. I was trying to. You asked if I was morally opposed, and I was explaining that yes, I am. This is what I think.
Okay. This next one, I think it's the AI generated one about more an American and a Chinese spy, and all the happy times they had together. So this is a combination of a couple of things. Like, it's the most recent topic, but it's also like that whole AI, how good AI is getting at making videos, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh, underneath that guy's clothes, he's totally ripped.
Yeah.
But it's not all the same guy. It's a bunch of different guys.
Yeah, I think they're trying to be consistent, but they don't always succeed. The AI, I mean.
Okay.
8-Bit says, what's the current topic? Hi, Nebu. Hey, chat. Right now we're talking about TikTok, but I'm trying to get through like all my just chatting topics because we haven't seen Steph in like 10 years. And I guess a lot of it is going to be TikTok because like I need to get all these videos this stream because next stream TikTok's gone. What is this? I bookmarked a bunch of stuff and I don't know what this is. Oh. Here we go. Red Note is the Chinese TikTok thing. Xiao Hong Shu translates a little Red Note. So yeah, people learning Mandarin.
Remember in the show Firefly, everybody spoke Mandarin and English, and a sort of Mandarin English Creole?
Yeah, I haven't seen the show, but I'm aware of that aspect of it. Julie says, but Steph said she didn't want to watch it. Yeah, but I'm because it's like this is the last stream. I'm sort of pushing her a little bit. If she gets really angry, I guess I'll stop. 8-Bit says, I've been translating all my videos to Mandarin for Red Note. Is simplified or traditional Chinese more common? My understanding is Red Note is a Chinese, like Chinese mainland application, and they use simplified Chinese there. Traditional Chinese is I think Hong Kong and Taiwan uses that. And Hong Kong and Taiwan are not the core demographic of Red Note, to my understanding. But I'm not super familiar with the topic, so you should do your own research on that if you know, to be sure. I saw a Chinese creator talk about the Mandarin in Firefly is weird, it's unnatural, like, you know, and the obvious explanation is the writers don't speak Mandarin, right? They're just using Google Translate or whatever. And then fans have tried to defend it by saying, well, maybe, you know, it's 1,000 years in the future. Maybe Chinese has evolved since then. Right? Yeah, exactly. It says, well, why hasn't the English changed then? The English is like today's English, but it's future mutated Mandarin.
Right. Although they probably, at the time they made it, would have had to do like with a dictionary kind of
Right.
translation. I don't think they had Google Translate then.
So I have little notes here, but like it's been so long, I don't know what the videos are about anymore. This says preschool assessment. So let's see what this is.
Watch me do my full preschool assessment.
Oh, right. I want to ask you, is this what you do, Steph? Is this accurate?
All of your colors. Good
I
job.
guess he's asking the kid what color is this? What shape is this?
Well, this one's a rectangle. What's that? Square. Can you say square? Square. All right. What number is this?
5,
Good. What number is this?
3,
What number is this?
6,
0.
0,
What number is that?
9, 8, 4, 5,
This is what you do, Steph?
5,
Basically, yeah.
4, 10,
Oh, 10. Good job. Do you know that one?
5,
All right. Good job, buddy. Now I want you to count how many dots are here. 1, 2. Can you count how many I have?
1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh,
5,
nope,
6,
nope.
7.
You have to slow down and count each one. 1,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
He's
11, 12,
already fucked up
13, 14,
with his strategy by going
Okay.
around the edge, the perimeter there.
All right, we're going to close this. I want you to count as high as you can for me.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Keep going.
1, 2.
So one thing I noticed about this video also is it seems like the kid's like getting bored and frustrated and running out of energy towards the end, right?
Yes.
So what strategies do you have to deal with that? When the kid says, I don't want to do these fucking tests anymore, right? Like,
Mostly we keep them pretty short. This one's already going a little long. I probably would have switched to something else at this point. We also I'll do like a race or a funny noise or a sticker chart or a high five or like let's do 10 jumping jacks or like can you show me if you can you like lay on the floor and show me with your body, like little tips and tricks like that to make it fun. What would Mr. Sock say?
Beaver says, let's see, I gotten more success on Red Note with my translated videos, but I'm not sure if it will shift the more English speakers and or Americans join the app and the algorithm changes. Yeah, so I heard that the people behind Red Note, behind Xiao Hongshu, are already tweaking the algorithm because it wasn't intended for English speakers. So they want to make sure it doesn't degrade the experience for their core demographic, right? Which is because we mentioned earlier, some Chinese users were complaining about the influx of English content, for example. And how I can see how that'd be annoying, right? Like if I imagine you're using TikTok and you just get a huge influx of Chinese content, and you're like, well, I used to like this app, and now I don't know, I can't understand what's happening anymore, what's going on. So I can see how that'd be frustrating. There's also Stephanie sort of alluded to this earlier, but it's unclear if this is going to be a persistent change, right? There's a lot of like energy to like protest the U.S. government, I guess, by switching to Red Note, but like it might peter out, right? People might say, well, it's not as good as TikTok, so I'm just gonna do something else now, I guess, play video games or something, and then the American audience might die out on Red Note. Beaver says, what is the grading based on factors? I mean, so I guess like number of correct answers is one factor.
What's happening here is a assessment for kindergarten readiness. So they're seeing what the kid knows, and you kind of have some benchmarks. Because he's a kid, you don't expect him to get it all perfect. So it is sort of normed compared to what the average kid can do. And you're just trying to see if he has about the same school readiness, print readiness as other kids who are going into kindergarten. You can also monitor progress with this, right? So you can be like, oh, okay, capital letters were a mystery to this kid last month, but we've been really working on them in class. Does he have any more this month? You know, sort of thing. You're usually looking, this is not a test I give, but it's familiar enough that I understand. You're usually looking at print concepts like letter recognition, number recognition, shapes, correspondence counting, which is being able to count one thing at a time, number knowledge, like being able to count up to 20 or 100 or however far he can count. You know, if he can draw any, if he can imitate a shape, if he can draw anything, if he can write any letters. He's in preschool, so it, you know, it would be surprising if he could, but some kids can. And you usually also do like a concepts, like bigger, smaller, longer, that sort of thing. Things that it's helpful for kids to know. Colors, did I mention that one? Before they go into kindergarten.
Julie says, are you walking on a treadmill, Steph?
I am, yes, sorry. I work all day on Thursdays, like usually literally every second of it. And so by the time I get here, I honestly haven't moved because my sessions are an hour long. And like I don't even get to go outside or get to go even more than like 3 or 4 steps. And so I'm often really eager to move. And now I have a walking treadmill at home that I can do. So I've started doing it in the evenings on Thursdays and other days as well. But
Julie says, it's okay. I'm pretty impressed that you can walk and talk. Yeah, she has higher than pre-K capabilities for multitasking.
Maybe this kid can too. Maybe
Yeah.
he can be. Maybe he's better at correspondence counting when he's on a treadmill.
So this video, the label, the note I put that says 99% chance to double money.
Oh, not the preschool one. Something else. Okay.
Pay $1 and have 99 chance to double your money, I guess, to $2, I guess, and to $4 and so on. Oh, and I think it's when you lose, as soon as you lose, then you've lost all your winnings. And I guess so. The question is, what's the strategy, right? Because if you play forever, you're guaranteed to lose all your money at some point, right?
Right. 37%.
37%? What does that mean?
You like once the chance of losing all your money goes up to 37%, then you stop.
Cumulative, I guess you're talking about.
Yeah.
Which is, but we don't know what. I guess we could calculate that, but we don't know what that amount would be.
Well, just calculate it while you're doing it really fast. I'm going off the 37% algorithm.
Yeah, it sounds like you're citing a paper that you've read in the past, but maybe we don't know the math behind it.
Oh, I thought we'd talked about it. It's called the secretary algorithm, and it's for
secretary. I thought it was for matchmaking, finding your soulmate. You date a bunch of women.
Yeah, it's also used for that as well.
And then once you've dated 37%, like, wow, wait, you say, because I can only vaguely remember it.
That meet your basic criteria, right?
No, I think
so you have.
I thought it was like you date, like you
date 37 of them, and then
you estimate the population. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You date 37% of them, rejecting all of them, and this is just your calibration phase to find out how good are the women out there, and then you choose, I guess, how good, based on maybe like you look at for an 80% or threshold or something like that, based on what you've seen so far, and you marry the very next person who passes that threshold.
Beats that, right?
Okay.
So you kind of get a sense of what's out there. So like there's 100 women you think out there who you would match with. You date 37 of them, rejecting all of them just to get a sense of what they're like. And then you kind of say like, oh, okay, they're sort of normally distributed. I want somebody who's definitely in the 80th percentile of what I've seen so far. And then the very next person who meets your that criteria, they're at the 80th or 81st or 99th or whatever, you go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm aware of the algorithm, although I'm not sure all about the details. Like I sort of just pulled the 80th percentile out of my ass. I feel like there's a specific the algorithm
There might
prescribes
be,
something
yeah.
specific, but I don't recall what it is. That said, I don't know if that applies to this game, like because you have full
You just
information
applied it.
of the distribution.
I literally just applied it.
Yeah, but I'm saying it might be suboptimal. Like, wait, what does it even mean? Like, so when you say you reject 37%, so you bet 37 times for sure, because the population is infinite in this case, right? In theory, you could play this game infinitely many times. So, like saying 37% of infinite
Playing it 37 times and then
doesn't
stopping
even
and
make
taking the
sense.
money.
So you play
And then
37
I'm buying a
time,
laundromat,
and then whatever you got, that's
and
what
then
you.
I'm going to collect money from the washers and dryers that I buy. Also vending machines.
Yeah.
Live
Okay.
off that.
So
You
I
come
mean,
up with a better strategy.
so you would get, I think, what is it like? 50? No, maybe $100,000 is my
The
estimate.
37th factorial.
No, not factorial, because you're doubling, right? So it's 2 to the 37.
Okay, fine. Then I'm going to invest it in a laundromat and vending machines. Keep collecting. Cha-ching. I win. You lost. Thank you for
It
playing.
might be 2 billion. I'm trying, because I'm trying 2 to the 32 is like either, it must be 2 billion.
Then I'm buying a lot of laundromats.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is that 137 billion? We should put
That's
the
a lot of money.
separators. Yeah, see, I would stop before that then, right? Because I like,
13 billion.
where's the separators? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. No, it's 137 billion.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of laundromats I'm buying.
Yeah.
So
I'd be fine with half of
split up,
that.
'cause
Meaning
now I own you.
we could stop at 36.
You're stopping at 36.
Well, because then you have better odds of not going bankrupt, right?
Sure.
Hey Neko, thanks for the raid. Why didn't it play the alert? That's weird. But yeah, thank you for raid. What you were playing Valorant? How was Valorant? How was your Valorant game? Lurk, have a good stream. All right, see you later. Thanks for the raid and have a good lurk. I feel like I want to do for this. I think the strategy is satisficing, right? You want to figure out how much money would you be happy with, and me, I think $2 million.
We started out by saying like $100,000 or something, and I was like, sure. I don't know that I want to just satisfice. I think I satisfice a little too easily.
So more than 16. Maybe 20. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, so I guess 21. I would play 21 times. I guess I would go for 2 million.
Yeah, I think I'd be all right with like 16 more times after that to have 137 billion.
No, but then you like that tiny chance of like losing it all, right? Like if
You do,
once
and I think I'm okay with that.
once you hit 2 million, I feel like if ever you lose, it's so devastating. It's like, oh God, why didn't I just stop?
Yeah,
Like
it's fake
the
money
regret.
at that point anyway.
Sorry?
It's fake money at that point anyway.
Yeah, but I'm saying like take the hypothetical seriously, right? Like if this really did happen,
Yeah,
I would be so
I'm just saying, like, I
anguished.
think it would just be so fake at that point. I would just be like, okay, fine.
No, I would be super anguished if I had
Yeah,
2 million
that's the
and then I
difference
kept
between us.
going and then to like 137 million and then like I'm like, okay, I'll go for 137 billion and then I lose it and then I could have just taken the 2 million and it would have been fine.
Oh my God, my life is just one big regret. So like, I don't think
Well,
that would add
because
to
I
it.
think the reason you're here's one thing we regret is that you do strategies like these instead of stopping at 21.
No, I think it's because I don't keep going.
All right.
I think that's what I regret the most.
Julie says nothing is playing, including the words for time. Yeah, I turned TTS off because Steph doesn't really like the TTS.
It's true. It doesn't.
So TTS, but the raid message the raids alert should have still gone. So I don't know why that didn't work, but whatever. What is this? 1,000 pepperonis? What is this?
All I can see is the calculator. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Oh, this person photographed 1,000 pepperonis.
Why?
I don't know.
Why didn't they
Maybe
stop at 37?
maybe it's one of those art projects, right? Performance arts. Like he did it and then he filmed it
so?
and then. Well, why else would you do this?
Because TikTok is rotting your mind. Like, what is this? Like, what is happening? What is wrong with you that this is what you're doing?
Well, look, 298.1 thousand people liked it. 8,000 people commented on it. 21,000 bookmarked it
What?
so that they can watch it again later,
Why are
right?
you watching this more than once? What is happening?
I assume it's just one of
I
those.
feel good about social media seeing things like that.
Well, I think this is just like one of those modern art performances, right? Like when someone does something weird or ridiculous and they film themselves doing it, and then and like that's art,
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, like that's this behavior is pretty common. I feel like, right? Like of doing something kind of dumb and filming it and calling it art.
Yeah,
And this predates social media, like doing something dumb and recording it.
it does.
And calling
But
it
now,
art.
like, everyone thinks they can do it, as opposed to just the trust fund weirdo narcissists.
Which is fine. Like, I mean, it doesn't hurt anybody for him, to film 1,000 or photograph 1,000 pepperonis. If that's what he wants to do,
It
go ahead and
does.
do it.
It does, because it means nobody's going to be trying to solve problems.
It's
be
not that
productive.
nobody's trying to solve problems. The people who were going to solve problems anyway are still, like Terrence
Not
Tao
just doing
is not
this, but, like,
solving fewer math
commenting
problems
on it.
because of this
showing
guy.
it to their friends, sharing it, watching it again. Like, this is
The people
rotting the
who-
brains of 7-year-olds. They can't even get to the point where they're going to do pure math because their brains are full of pepperonis.
I don't think that's true. I feel like the people who were going to solve problems are still going to solve problems, even if they watch this video, like the
don't think so.
you're
It's all
hypothesizing
over.
like this sort of butterfly effect thing, right? Where this guy would
Yeah.
cure cancer, but because he watched this video, like, there's one neuron
Somebody
fired a
who
different
watched
way.
this- Yeah, exactly. Like, he
And
wasted
now
all of his
he
time
went a different
commenting on
path
this, and he was
in
tired,
life
then he
and no
walked
longer
off a bus.
no longer cures cancer or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
I don't think that's likely. Like I because if it were likely, then that means like if things were that fragile, then some guy who wasn't gonna cure cancer watches the 1,000 pepperoni video and that turns the neuron a different way and he says, wait, I just got this inspiration. Here's how you cure cancer, right? Like
No, there's no chance that, like, poison makes someone better.
well, only because there's not
Except in, like, a
like variance.
hero movie.
There's not like high variance in the effect of poison, right?
Right. And this is poison.
Anyway, I think the reason I one of the things I thought when I first saw this video, and now I've seen it twice because I had to show it to you.
Was to show it to me. Thank
No,
you.
yeah, one of them was to show it to you, but the other thought I had was like, in the future when AI takes over the world and like it's better than humans at every job, so we don't have jobs anymore.
Including photographing.
Well, no,
pepperoni.
so here's the one job that humans can do, which is gather training data, right? Like AI is like, I need 1,000 pictures of pepperoni so I know what pepperoni looks like. So your job as a human is to go photograph
Me anymore.
1,000 pictures. Like, I need training data of pepperoni. Go get it for me, human. So that I can then go on to cure cancer, says the AI.
Now, Like some pig died for that.
He might
Like, was
still eat
literally
it.
had a horrible life and was slaughtered.
Yeah, and then he
He
does this,
touched
and
it
then
all and took 800 hours to make these photographs. So these pepperonis have been sitting out for 800 hours.
yeah, and
You
then you
can't
eat them after.
now.
You can still eat
Or
them.
he's dead and now he can't cure cancer because he died from his rancid pepperoni. Somebody could have saved him too, but they were busy commenting on this.
Let's see. 8-Bit says, ask me
Everything that's wrong with the world.
something technical. A ball leaves a girl's hand with an upward velocity of 6 meters per second. What is the maximum height of the ball above the girl's hand? I kind of don't want to do it in this map round. Do you want to do it, Steph?
Is she throwing it straight up?
I think
She's
that's
throwing it down.
implied. I think she's throwing it
Maximum
up.
height is her height plus her hand. Because she just threw it straight down on the ground. And then it
Oh
just
yeah,
sat
her
there.
height. No, it's asked what's the maximum height above her hand. So you can think of her hand as height 0 on the axis.
So 0. Because she just drops it.
No, she's throwing the ball upwards.
It doesn't say that.
A ball leaves a girl's hand with an upward velocity of 6 meters per second. So it doesn't say that she throws it, but it says, like, the fact that she has a hand is irrelevant. It's the ball, for whatever reason, maybe because it was thrown, maybe because it was shot upwards or whatever. It's moving 6 meters per second upwards, where we label her hand as 0. That's what the question is saying. Then what's the maximum height of that ball?
I don't know. It involves calculus.
Yeah. If only you watch more TikTok, and then you'd be able to solve it.
I don't think that's true.
There's
I
a
could
lot.
photograph some
I constantly
abdominals
get
if you need it.
I constantly get math problems and calculus videos on TikTok. And this is the sort of stuff that you would get on TikTok, like this type of problem. So here's her hand. This is 0. The initial velocity is 6 meters per second is what the question said. And we're presuming, like the question doesn't say, but I'm presuming Earth. So there's a downward acceleration of 9.8 meters per second squared. Yeah, I don't want to do this. You do have to do this, I think. So the idea is every second the upward velocity loses 9.8 meters. So within less than a second, it has already it'll already start having a negative velocity, like a downward velocity, right? So you're solving this like this calculus equation to figure out what's the maximal, what's the point at which the velocity hits 0.
Right.
Actually, maybe we can do it without too much calculus. Like it's doing 6 meters per second, and then we're losing 9.8 every second. So we can say how long before the velocity becomes 0. It's 6 divided by 9.8, right?
Maybe.
The idea being like if you're saying I'm going to change the units here. I'm going to give a different problem that's analogous. If you're going like 6 miles east and you're going at 9.8 miles per hour, how many hours does it take? 6 divided by 9.8, right? So this is how long it takes before the velocity becomes 0. Oh, you do need calculus because the velocity is changing the whole time. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was going to say, then you just multiply that by this to figure out the height, but that's not true because the
I
velocity is
think you need
constantly changing.
calculus.
All right. Beaver says, yum, pepperoni, delicious. Julie says, I just had the crazy sense of deja vu, like my next sentence would have been, but Steph also doesn't like TikTok and we're watching this anyway. And then we get into a big argument, so I'm not going to type my next line. All right. Tuyo says, has anyone tried eating 1,000 pepperonis to cure a disease, though? I don't know if anyone's ever tried that.
That's a good point. Nobody has because their brains have all been rotted by watching that last video. What if the nitrates in pepperoni actually cured cancer?
Oh, that reminds me. I moved to a new place, as you guys are probably all aware now. And the old owner left a few things. Like one of the things she left was I guess it's a Teflon pan. It's some sort of pan, but there was a little hole that's like a different texture than the rest in the center. And I started touching it to say, like, what is this, right? It's not like a hole all the way through the pan. It's like most of the pan is one texture, and then there's a spot where it's a different texture. And so I touch it, and it's kind of rubbery. And then I'm like, oh, this is probably the Teflon coating that's peeling off or something like that, right?
I don't know.
Well, what else could it be, right?
I don't know.
I'm assuming it is. I mean, and then I'm like, well, how bad is this? Like, you know, is eating Teflon toxic? Like, you know, if it gets into my food or whatever?
I think so.
Well, so I started looking up, and obviously everything on this stream is not medical advice, so I'm not responsible if you listen to what I say. But
and eat 1,000 pepperoni and then
but from what I saw, and I don't know if I trust it yet, but what I saw online is they're saying Teflon is one of the least reactive materials there are out there. So if you eat some, it'll probably just go through your digestive system and pass through without interacting with anything.
Sure. I think it's a coincidence, maybe not, that you started licking this pan of unknown origins and also got sick.
No, I think...
I'm just going to say.
So you're like fabricating the story, which I never licked the pan. And also I looked at the pan after I got sick.
It's also like melting your brain. Can't even tell the story.
Tio says it's a heat indicator. Julie says it tells you how hot your pan is. No, I know what you guys are talking about, but it's not that. Trying to see if I can find a picture. Not of my specific pan, but of something similar. You see this thing here?
Yeah.
It looks like that. So this is not a heat indicator, right? This is like some texture peeling off of the pan.
It's like I used to put this pan in the dishwasher, kind of.
Are you not supposed to do that?
No, I don't do that.
Because I put my pan in the dishwasher.
Yeah, that red dot in the middle in that picture.
Yeah.
If you scroll down.
Yeah. Where I saw too, but I lost it. I didn't comment. Oh, this thing maybe. Yeah, this thing. Yeah, this is a heat indicator. That's not what. I'm not talking about that thing. I'm talking about. I'm talking about this thing here. Which when I said it's rubbery when I touch it, like I'm touching this thing, and I can peel it. I can peel it off the pan if I wanted to, but I don't want to peel it off the pan, and it feels like there's rubbery stuff that's on the pan.
Wow. And then you just ate it.
No. I put the pan aside and I said, I'm going to go check online and see how bad is it if you eat Teflon. And Chakar says it's really bad. Someone else, I think, said it was really bad. And that's my instinct too. Like, it's probably really bad. But the research I saw so far says it's probably not that bad. And I don't know, I'm still on the fence about it because I'm like, okay, but
I feel like people writing this research have been watching a lot of pepperoni photography.
It's plausible. Like I would have to read papers or something like that about like when they say like the Teflon doesn't interact with your digestive system because it's such a non-reactant material. Like it's plausible sounding. I don't know if it's true. Yeah. That's where I have to like go, do more research to find out if it's true or not.
Right. Also, I'm not convinced that that's Teflon.
Okay.
It might be.
Yeah, it could be.
You could research Teflon and then find out that that's not what that is.
Right. Yep. David versus want the answer? Sure, give us the answer. I mean, if you just give us a number, it's not that interesting. I guess if you give us the way to solve it, I think that's a bit more interesting. David versus what if there are factors like wind or gravity change? Seems unlikely. I mean, there's this. What Rahul's axiom of cooperative conversation or something like that, right? I forget the exact term of it.
Where you assume that...
Yeah, I mean, like you can always be smart alecky, and like if somebody's giving you a riddle or whatever, and you say, oh, but actually there's wind, and this is like kind of an asshole move. Like either way, like either to say, like, oh, you can't know the answer because of wind would be an asshole as the answerer. and it would be asked as the question asker, where you give the answer, or you say, oh, it's 6 meters or whatever, and the question asker says, oh, but you forgot the wind. And it's just
Does the like surface area of the ball matter? Like not from a I'm trying to be tricky here, but I'm just sort of curious.
I
Like if
don't.
you throw beach ball versus a baseball,
Yeah, I don't know if the
you go
surface area
higher than the other.
specifically matters, but like more generally, the wind resistance matters, right? Which
Okay.
maybe it's impacted by the surface area, but maybe it's more impacted by
Must
the
be.
momentum of the object, like throwing up a bowling ball versus throwing up a beach ball. If they had the same
Okay.
surface area, they would be affected by the wind resistance differently,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Beaver says, someone who watches a lot of TikTok can be productive. Just imagine all the information learned, but of course, there's good information, then there is what today's youth call brain rot, or useless, pointless information, but depends on the content one is consuming and how they use it in everyday's life or situation. Yeah, there's...
Okay, it's true, but there's a concept called informational obesity, which I think is related. Like, yes, some of the content may be nutritious, but eating it in snack quantities in huge amounts where you don't apply it to anything, it's still going to lead to like brain sclerosis in the same way that even eating tons of nutritious food that way is going to lead to arthrosclerosis.
Chua says, did you taste it? Is it perhaps just a burnt on pepperoni? No, I didn't taste it. The panting.
That is a good question. That would
Says,
explain the rubberiness.
Juice says, what about the mass? Yeah, that's what I was getting at with momentum, I think. We're talking about the same thing.
Yeah. I was going to say mass too, but then I was like, oh, it's not quite mass, is it? And then I didn't know what the word was. And then Neb said momentum, which is correct or closer than what I was doing. And so I just said, yeah, that. Like I was going to say that the whole time.
This next video is labeled leaving the house. So what is this? Is it muted?
Can't hear it.
Yeah, I don't know why it's muted. It's not muted here. What the heck? What did she say? Not only did I leave my house today, but I have to leave my house again to do a completely different thing.
On the same day?
I can't take it anymore, honestly. Yeah, I know how that feels.
Have you ever had to leave the house twice in the same day?
Yeah, and it's terrible.
When did you have to?
I don't remember.
This year?
No, not this year.
Okay.
Last year. This is Twerking Dino book. So, okay, what is this? Oh, look at that. The dinos are twerking.
I can't hear any volume on this one.
Yeah,
either,
I don't know why.
it's
I'm not hearing it either. Did something happen where I got muted? I don't know. But I mean, you probably don't need the audio for that.
No.
Things
One thing that's
baby.
really annoying is now trying to test kids when all they want to do is floss the whole time. And I don't mean their teeth.
Yeah, I know what flossing is. This is like a novel. Like, I mean, not flossing specifically, but you're saying in the past, kids would not refuse to do testing and instead want to do some other activity, like whether it's flossing or something else.
It would, but this one seems particularly designed to be viral to the brain of a kid. It's slightly transgressive and it drives adults crazy, and so they think it's like really funny, and they just and it kind of carries its own momentum, and they. Ugh.
Let
Anyway.
me open up YouTube to check if there's something wrong with my browser audio. Quantum computing expert explains one concept in 5 levels of difficulty. Yeah, there's no audio. What the heck? Something happened to... What the heck happened? Someone got muted. Oh, I see where it had something. Okay, let me try.
We'll be able to start exploring some problems that we could never solve any other way. Hopefully by the end of today, everyone can leave this discussion understanding quantum computing.
This one says things baby should do. No, that what this is going to be. Things your baby should do by 6 months if not see a specialist. Rolling over. Okay. Sitting on their own. Washing the dishes. Cooking food. Sweeping the floors. In the stock market.
Do you do half of those things?
Do I do half
Or
of those
should I
things?
call it, yeah. Or should I take you to a specialist?
I'm in the stock market.
Okay. Have you ever swept a floor?
I don't think so.
Okay. Wash the dishes?
I use a washing machine. Does that count?
Okay.
A dishwasher?
Okay. Do you ever pre-scrub?
No.
Worried.
I might need to see a specialist.
Yeah.
This is horse song? What the heck?
My horse broke my toes. Oh dang. She weighs over 15,000 pounds. 1,500. Nope, add another zero to that. There's no way she can be that much. She got papers on her telling us her weight. The record for weight is 3,336 in England. Okay, well this horse isn't from here, Abby. You can't be calling me a liar. You loved the papers and speech. And you sure don't know everything about a horse, honey. So kinda get over yourself. Calling me a liar, it's real funny, don't you think? You haven't even seen this horse is bigger and huger than any horse I've owned. And she 10 times the size of yours.
It's a big horse.
It's a pretty big horse.
That one I've seen.
You've seen that one.
100,000 times. I take a photograph of it every time. Made a video of myself
This is
taking a photograph of this video.
Devin. Oh, is that the AI thing? Oh, it is.
Devin's finally here. No, it's not a frat boy coming to a party. Devin is an AI junior developer. And the first time we heard about Devin was in March of this year when a viral video
This year being
went
2024.
wild that sort of showed the capabilities of what an independent AI agent could do. It was one of our first demonstrations of AI agent task motivation, task completion, and everyone was completely blown away. And then Devin didn't show up to the party. There was nothing out of that company until now, like December. So for 9 months, they sat there in a closed beta. I was wondering if they were ever going to come out of beta at all. The people who were using Devin in a closed beta had good reviews, but no one else could get to it. They're out now, and they're out for $500 per month. I think they were inspired by ChatGPT Pro pricing. I don't know about you. $500 a month. And you don't get 24/7 access to Devin for $500 a month. You get precisely 62 and a half hours. I did the math of Devin. So you get a week and change of Devin's productivity over the course of a month. And companies are saying it's worth it. And the reason they're saying it's worth it is because Devin is doing a different kind of labor than a traditional junior engineer. So I want to be very precise about this. When you work with junior engineers, you typically are concerned with their skill progression and you're concerned with their career development. And so you assign them to a domain very carefully under the leadership of a senior engineer so that they can grow in their skills and ultimately become a admired, respected, leading member of the team who's capable of driving projects autonomously. Devin doesn't have career objectives. Devin is happy to take the grunt work. And so, in fact, what leading companies are doing is they are assigning Devin to do the work nobody was doing before. It's not really replacement value. It's work no one was doing. So every company I know of has severity 3s or 4s or 5s that are bugs, that are things that need to be worked on, that are little pieces of tech debt that nobody's doing. That's what Devin excels at. Just give it to Devin. Let Devin tackle it. It's getting done. It wasn't getting done before. Another good use case that I've seen, I know Claire Vaux has championed this. She's worked on Chat PRD. She's used Devin for that. If you are a solopreneur, Devin is a cheap way to buy yourself more time. And that's what she does. For 99% of us, Devin is going to be too expensive to be worth it. For businesses that have those kinds of use cases where they have something that is appropriate for a junior developer from a complexity perspective, they just need it done, it's going to be really helpful to have Devin as a partner on the team. I actually don't think it's likely that having Devin at this volume is going to lead to a significant change in the labor market. There's just not enough Devin to go around, and the Devin capability set we have is just not strong enough to really present a genuine threat to engineering as a discipline. Now, that can change. I'm sure there will be stories. But by and large, I think what's interesting about this is it actually presents one of the first opportunities that we're going to see for AI to be a partner on a team with humans. So humans will delegate tasks to Devin the way they would delegate tasks to a human. And I think that's going to be one of our first tests of human AI dynamics in the workplace. And I am really curious to see how that goes. So there you go. Devin is finally out. I've been watching this for 9 months. If you have tried it, put your comments below. If you would try it, put your comments below. And if you would like to see a version of Devin that's more affordable, or if you wildly disagree with this whole premise of AI agents, curious to see what you think. All right, cheers. Devin is out.
9 months, Devin has been born. Yep, that's what Julie says. I've noticed. How do the computer science degrees is like a dead end in these days? Is the perception that I've been getting? I don't know if it's a social bubble thing. But I see a lot of people complaining that now that they got their computer science degree, they can't get a job. They joke that computer science degree is the new humanities degree, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any insight on that? Like, since it's not really your domain, I guess, but like you're in education, right? So I don't know if you've seen similar sentiment or.
Devin is not really an AI. It's just a computer science degree guy who's out of work.
No, I mean, like, because you work with students, I guess. I don't know, but you work with younger students, I guess. You don't work with university students, I presume.
I don't think young people that I work with are aware of this, but I am aware from like the Substacks I read and stuff like that people are worried about this, given that AI can code. That like, what's the point of learning a skill set like that anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of people say that sort of thing, like especially CEO of companies, right? They say, "Oh, we're not going to need to hire programs anymore."
Right, but
they're
the people who aren't getting hired right now might just be unhirable.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, but there's the actions versus the words, right? So they say these things, they give a press release, but then you look at like their company and they're still hiring programmers, like they still have job openings. So I sort of dismiss those CEOs, right? But then when I hear about recent graduates who are like, I can't find a job, you know, like at all, like no matter what, you know, and we're struggling, because it wasn't like that when I graduated. I sort of got like the recruiters were all over me back in the day,
right?
And now they're saying that's no longer the case. And I'm sort of seeing that too in the sense that, like, a few years ago when I'm let's say 5 years ago, I was still employed, and I would still get like messages from recruiters constantly saying, you know, interested in switching companies. And now I don't get those emails anymore.
Yeah. It's hard to know, isn't it?
Yeah.
We could ask AI, but I feel like it would be motivated to give us a wrong answer.
There's been a lot of anthropomorphizing of AI lately, and I'm a little annoyed by it.
Sorry.
As
My
a
joke fell flat then.
yeah, as it's a predictable failure rate.
Yes.
But it's also like,
obviously ChatGPT is not motivated to do anything, much less tell us a lie. Sorry, joke.
Well, I mean, it is motivated by the corporation that owns it, right? That controls it, like
sort of, yeah.
OpenAI in this case, and they might not have perfect control over it, but they do have goals, right? Like they don't want ChatGPT to give you instructions on how to make a bomb, for example.
Right.
So they're steering the AI in certain ways. Well, no, I think they don't even want it to give you bad instructions. They don't want you to give instructions at all because of PR risk. Like it's not so much that they have like a morality thing of like, people shouldn't know how to make bombs. It's that we don't want the news to tell people that ChatGPT told you how to make a bomb, even if those instructions turn out to be wrong or useless or whatever, right? Like,
right. They do the training, that kind of training post hoc, right?
I don't know for sure because like it's all secret, right? Because like it's billions of dollars. But yeah, I think the general perception is that you first teach it to be smart and then you steer it to be safe afterwards. So like internally it knows how to make bombs, probably.
Right.
And then you have to like teach it to not tell people.
Tell it to suppress that, yeah.
But also teach it to be helpful to people, right? Because if it's super intelligent, but it's like, it's like, I know the answer, but I'm not gonna tell you. Like for not just bomb making, but general queries, right? You say like, explain general relativity to me. It's like, nah, you're too dumb. Like if ChatGPT said something like that, that would be like, that would also be bad, right? So they train it to be helpful, PR, but not in certain contexts and so on.
Right.
GB says, do you do stock market instead, Nebu? Since you are not officially employed, are you using other forms to help you have an income? I am in the stock market, but I'm not enough to live off of stock market. This says math joke is the label I got here on this video.
How is this problem like an inside joke? And can we get in on the joke? Absolutely we can. This actually is a very funny joke. I think it's very funny anyway. The absolute value of 3x minus 7 as a quantity, that's the part here in the bars, plus 4 is less than or equal to 4. And of course, our job is solve for x. The first thing we want to recognize here is what is absolute value? Absolute value represents distance on the number line. And since distance is almost always positive, absolute value is almost always positive. Now, the first thing you should think when I say almost always positive is, hold on a second, when is absolute value not positive? Because that's actually exactly what's coming into play for this particular inequality. If absolute value represents distance, then right now the distance from me to you is 3 feet, let's say. Treat those eyes right, kids. Hold the phone away. If I asked you for that distance, it would be weird if you said, oh, we're negative 3 feet away. No, I might be 3 feet in front of you. You might be 3 feet to my left or something. That is, distance can definitely be directional, but we wouldn't typically represent it with a negative. But there is one distance we would represent that wouldn't be positive. That is the distance of 0 itself. How far away is 10 from 10 on the number line? Well, it's 0 units away because 10 is 10. 0 is not a positive number, and so it is possible that an absolute value could return 0 and therefore not be positive. That's actually exactly what we need here because we have some quantity. It doesn't even matter what it is. Ignore it for a second. Some quantity plus 4 is less than or equal to 4. If we subtract that 4 from both sides of the inequality right now, we can get a better sense of what this must mean. Whatever is behind this blank right now on its own must be less than or equal to 0. But again, it was an absolute value. It can't possibly be negative, so the only way this can be true is if it is 0. And and the only quantity we can take the absolute value of and get 0 back is 0 itself. So this expression inside the absolute value bars, we're interested in where does this equal 0. 3x minus 7 will be 0, where 3x itself is 7, and then dividing by 3 on both sides of this, we get our solution. This inequality will be true where x equals 7/3. You can plug that 7/3 in all the way back up at the beginning, and you can verify that this does actually work. 3 times 7/3 is 7. That's the whole point of having the 3 in the denominator. 7 minus 7 is 0, and the absolute value of 0 is 0. So what we end up with here is 0 plus 4 is less than or equal to 4, which is true, right? 4 is less than or equal to 4 because it is equal to 4.
Wait, what was the joke? Why did I say this? What the heck? I apologize for that. I don't understand why this was in my list.
Why did he say it was funny?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it funny because it got you to watch the whole video?
That was it was just
Like,
a
did I
prank,
just
bro. All right, I think I got I got all my TikToks out of the way. So next week we can talk about things like the California fire or whatever, which is not a TikTok thing. But let's switch to the games.
It's not a TikTok thing. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
Lying is not a TikTok thing.
I
Good point.
need to do all the TikToks this stream because TikTok's gone next week.
I just can't believe you had to specify that this terrible tragedy is not a TikTok thing.
I mean, it is on TikTok, but I didn't save any videos
Also in the real world.
from TikTok on the California fire. Jubilee says, Ned, do you know the difference between toilet paper and wallpaper? I believe so. But it's one of those things, like it's one of those things where you say, like, definitionally, right? Like how would you create a criteria for distinguishing between the two? It seems a little tricky.
Is it?
How would you do it definitionally? I would do it in terms of like expected usage and like Bayesian.
One is septic safe and the other isn't.
Sorry?
One is septic safe and the other isn't.
I mean, you could imagine there being septic safe wallpaper.
How? It has glue in it. How would that ever be safe for your septic system?
Jesus, if you don't know the difference, ew. I think she was trying to do a joke.
Yeah.
So we're playing A Beaver's Tale. And the title of the stream is Ask Steph and Me About the Beaver Museum. And nobody asked us about the Beaver Museum yet. Can you believe it?
I can't. That's not even a TikTok thing either.
Yeah. A Beaver tells all the stage your progress as you play. Play with controller, WSD, or point click, whatever feels best. Controller prompts are in the top left. Do thing. Complete the story to gain access to builder mode. Okay, let's play. Welcome to the cozy town of Wearton. Make sure you talk to your neighbors and kids. What's a kid? Is that like a baby beaver?
It is.
Speaking of baby beavers, I saw a Jeopardy. It's not really about baby beavers. It's a bad segue I did there's a Jeopardy clip I saw where the category was like plurals that don't end in S, and they were asking the plural of moose, and so the guy buzzes moose in and he says, "What is meese?"
Oh no! Oops.
Yeah, they laughed at him, and then. So what give the answer as you would say it on Jeopardy, Steph.
What is moose?
Yeah, okay. So you made the same mistake as the second person who buzzed in. The correct answer is what are moose?
No, moose is the plural.
Yeah.
But I don't want to know what are moose. I want to know what is moose.
No, they're asking for the plural of moose.
Right.
And
you don't say the plural of octopus are octopuses. You say the plural of octopus is octopuses.
Let me think of use a less controversial one. How about ball? The plural of ball are balls?
Are balls? You would never
Is
say
balls?
that. Is balls. It's a single word, so you use is. Don't be coming at me, grammar Nazi. You were wrong.
You're right. But the Jeopardy show host said, you know, what are moose is the correct, but they still gave the person the point for saying moose.
Good lord, that's terrible.
Beaver says it is confusing because goose and is geese and moose is moose. Why I thought meese? Why I thought it was meese? I thought, like, I feel like it was meese because of like old cartoons, right? Like, didn't they make that as a joke, like a meme joke? Like maybe Tom and Jerry or something like that. I think they call it meese.
Often a funny grammar thing.
How do I pick? Oh, F to pick up. Like I'm holding a log. So it said I have to talk to the kits. Oh, right. So the reason, one of the things I noticed in Jeopardy that sort of baffles me is when someone like says, oh, you know, give me plurals for 400 or whatever, right? And then like, it's the daily double. People applaud. And like, why are you applauding? It was luck. It was pure luck. There's nothing like, you don't like, it's not impressive that he found the daily double. What the heck?
They're applauding because the applause lights go on.
Hi, Willie. Smiley face. Is this or oh wait, is this my dialogue option? Oh. Hey Bucky, it's nice of you to stop by. I had something I wanted to tell you. In case you ever forget how to do anything beaverly, just press the escape key and see the controls menu. I've always liked being your neighbor, you know that, right? Haven't seen you in some time. Hope you're doing alright, especially since, well, you know. Oh god, something happened. We're having a flashback? Chip, be careful! Is this Chip over here? Is he not being careful? So beavers just stay there. Beavers instinctually build dams around running water, right? Mm-hmm. Did you know that the thing that triggers their instinct is the sound of running water?
I absolutely hate it. It drives them mad.
They hate the sound of running water?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know?
They look at it or they hear it and they say, absolutely not. We cannot allow that.
Okay. So it's a joke. We don't actually know whether or not they hit it.
I guess not.
I thought maybe you were going to say something like, you know, they did FRMI and they saw the distress cortisols or some shit like that, right? But the reason they know it's a sound is because when they have like visuals of flowing water but no sound, they don't build a dam. But if they hear the sound of flowing water but there's no actual water, they do build a dam. So they figured out that it's the dam that
unacceptable.
Triggers it.
Yes, and you can build a beaver baffler, which like changes the sound of the water, and then they won't build a dam.
Beaver says, what is a group of beavers called? Maple says,
a family?
Jubilee says a family. I don't know. I've always found it kind of annoying that we have different group names for different types of animals, like different nouns for those. It just seems like
annoying.
Yeah, it just seems like extra memorization for no reason, you know?
I think a lot of the ones that we've created are unnecessary. Like, I don't really care that we call it a pride of lions and stuff like that, but like, nobody ever says, oh, look at that parliament, and everybody's like, oh, you must mean owls, right? Like, that's not
there's owls and there's deers there, right? And you say, look at that parliament, and then they know which group of animals you're talking about.
Immediately, instinctively, they're like, oh, that's the owls. Yeah.
Beaver versus colony, a group of beavers. It can also be colony.
That's true, yeah.
The other thing is like, I feel like people, like they might be too prescriptivist about these, in the sense that like some of these, like they're all made up, but some of them may be made up pretty recently,
right?
And like
much more made up,
idiosyncratically, you know, in the year 2000, some guy decided, you know, nobody's came up with a name for this. I'm gonna choose a name. And then like a different guy, like in North America, and then in Australia, a different guy comes up with a different name. And then like if you use the wrong name, it's like, oh, you're dumb. You know, we're wrong in quotes here. But it's like, yeah, it's just arbitrary.
Yeah. If you want to read a really good book about beavers, there's a book called Eager by Ben Goldfarb. It was really good.
Eager?
I very much enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay.
It talks about the beavers that they dropped out of planes into the backwoods of Idaho. The beaver that was the first one to do this was called Geronimo. And they literally dropped him out of a plane into
like from a safe height with a parachute, like what, like
yeah, like with a little parachute. He was in a little crate.
Okay.
And in a little parachute, and yeah, and the crates were designed to open when they landed.
Yeah.
And then they sent Geronimo and some of his favorite lady friends to
populate
for an area. Yeah.
Where's Chipper? Yeah, where did Chipper go? It's a good thing these beavers have their hats that tell their names, or else I wouldn't know who's who. Chew down logs of Q faster with shift minus energy. Hint, look for an old rope bridge. Is this the old rope bridge? The old bridge. Am I supposed to build a bridge, maybe? Is that what it's telling me? Do I build it with this small log that seems too small to do anything with? Enter the dam building area and check the bottom left to see your progress. Where's the dam building area? Is this the dam building area? Dive? Drop? Oh, I guess I'm progressing. This is 25% dam built. This is 25% of a dam? This seems like 1% of a dam.
Damn. I put something in the chat for you to share with the rest of the chat.
Copy. Paste. 8-bit versus what did the river say when it saw the beaver? I'll be damned. I'll show myself out now.
It's a good one.
Congrats, you chewed off your first branch. Happy building. Why are we I guess just because we're beavers, right? And that's what we do by instinct. I was gonna say, why are we building a dam? Hey, look at that, I built a dam. First dam, you built a dam. Your groundhog friends will be proud.
Groundhog friends?
Play tag with us. No, hide and seek. Both. And then let's have a screaming contest. Oh man. If I were hanging out with kids and they propose, let's have a screaming contest, I'm like, okay, I'm out. Nope. Screaming contest. Ah.
I would say, I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Congrats on building your first dam. Now your kids can safely cross to Goose Island. Is this Goose Island? There's a goose here. Who is the goose? Can we talk to him? I want to ask about their house. Okay, so go ask him about the house. Why are you telling me this? Chipper
Ask
is
how
back.
much he bought it for so that we can guess.
420k if it's in Minneapolis, Minnesota? I don't remember. Look, it's Chip. It's me. Hello, hello.
Chip the one who wasn't careful
Chipper's
earlier?
back. Yeah.
Oh.
Solility? That's his freaking name. Hello. Are these your kids? They're quite an obnoxious bunch. Yeah, they're not mine. This party island is mine. If you trespass too long, I will be alerting the bird police. You are here unlawfully and are making yourself a nuisance. Be respectful and keep your kids in check. I'm sure you don't want them embarrassing you more than they already have. Okay. I'm not even mad at that bird. I can empathize completely. I don't want freaking
That's kind of what geese are like, though.
beavers, you know, having a screaming contest in my backyard. I feel like we got some acorns. It's like a path of acorns, as if it was a trap leading me to like some hunter's cage or something. What am I supposed to do now?
Talk to your groundhog friends?
Oh boy, we're on Solility's island. He's probably so mad that we're here. You should build another dam fast so you can leave. It's not really fun when Solility is mad. Oh my, where's my lucky acorn? Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. Wait, where? Wait, so we have to build another dam?
I mean, you're a beaver. I'm guessing that's most of this game.
So like, the beaver's instinct is to build a dam, right? But the gamer's instinct is to like do the quest that's presented to you, so... So this game manages to capture the essence of what it's like to be a beaver via its gameplay mechanics. Where am I putting this dam? Because I'm
Somewhere else so you can get off the island.
yeah, but in the other thing, there was a thing in the bottom left corner where it said like dam 0%. So I was like, oh, so that's where I need to build a dam, right? Because I need to make the 0% become 100%. Oh, maybe it's here. Yeah, here it is. See, 14%. Okay, let's build a dam here. AB versus Beaver Simulator. Become the Beaver. Julie says, hey, what's up with the Beaver Museum? Well, Jubilee, I'm glad you asked. Do you want to tell them about the Beaver Museum, Steph?
I want to hear your version of the story.
Steph and I, we went to a Beaver Museum. I don't remember where it was. Was it Montreal or...
Yes.
Okay, so somewhere in Montreal. We went to a Beaver Museum. And
It was at a really nice park.
yeah, but it's
Mont something.
sure, because Montreal is a mount is like the Mont in Montreal means mountain, and
Yes.
Mont whatever also means mountain. So it's like it's just
Yes.
it's like being in the forest and saying, you know, it was near the tree. Yeah,
No,
it's everywhere.
It's a
Everything
special-
is
It's a very well-known park in Montreal.
could be Mont Royal. Royal is one of the
Yes, Montreal.
one of the more famous mountains there.
The Mont something.
Yeah, because like they're all Mont something. It's like this is the royal tree, right? But they're all like it's, you know, it was by a tree in the forest. Anyway, so we go into the building.
Montreal is designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, who did Central Park. Like, it's very famous and all of that. It's a big thing.
So we go into the building, and it's just one room. There's like, as soon as you walk in, you can see the entire museum because it's one big room.
The whole museum, yeah.
And on the left wall, there's like a counter, I guess, a desk where the staff is. And then you see exhibits along the other walls. In the fit of grumpiness, Goose knocked down all the fences. What do I care? Let them knock down the fences. It's not my fence. Anyway, so we're there, and they were like, "Oh, we're here to see the Beaver Museum." And she's like, "Well, here it is." And then she's like, "Would you like a tour?"
She asked if we wanted a tour.
Yeah, and we're like, "Nah, we're good." So we walk up to one of the walls and we start looking at it, and then we look at the other wall, and then we look at the third wall, and then the fourth wall is the counter again. So we've seen. So that's the whole museum. And yeah, that's what I remember.
Technically called the Fur Trade Museum.
Oh. But we call it the Beaver Museum because it was mainly beavers, I
Right.
think.
It was mostly about beavers. Yeah.
Wow, says Ghibli. It was like, it's just one big room.
It wasn't even a very big room.
Well, it's a pretty big room. Like, it's bigger than any bedroom I've been in, for example. It's like, but it's smaller than a warehouse,
Right.
say.
smaller than any museum that you've been in.
Yeah, well, I mean, most museums are multiple rooms. Like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 20 rooms is a typical museum.
Right, but even the rooms are bigger than most bedrooms.
Yeah, I guess if you go to an art gallery, right? Like the room is big enough that they can have like, I don't know, like 10 paintings on the wall.
Yeah.
So it's a big room. So it's like one of those. It's just one big room. Just one though.
And a small one.
Well, it's a normal museum size room, I guess. It's a big like residential size room.
Yeah. It's clear we were the first visitors.
You say
In a
Steph
long
says
time.
things like that a lot. Like, for example, she's like, when I bought a Seattle dog, she's like, no one's ever bought a Seattle dog before.
That's not a thing
Hey, look, it says my home.
in the history of the world that's ever bought a Seattle dog.
So I'm like, this is when I first arrived in Seattle for the first time ever in my life. And so I get off the airplane, right? And I'm outside the airport and there's a street vendor there. Like he has a hot dogs cart thing, right? So I go there and I say, I want the Seattle dog. Because he has a sign that lists all the hot dogs he sells, right? And he says, I want the Seattle dog. Seattle dog's like cream cheese, right? Yeah, see? Chuck knows. So I want the Seattle dog. And then he's like, huh?
You do not. Nobody has ever wanted
I want the Seattle dog. And he's like, so he's like looking in his hot dog cart, right? To figure out how do I make a Seattle dog? And then he makes it. He's like, here you go, I guess. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. How much do I owe you? And he's like, and he has to go. Look, yeah. And so he gives it to me, and it's not very good, to be honest.
God. Oh, Christ.
So then Steph had me convinced that it was like, this is the only guy who's ever done a Seattle dog, and I'm the only person who's ever bought a Seattle dog. But I found out, I looked up later, and Seattle dog is a thing. Like, it's a famous thing. Chuck already knows about Seattle dogs.
It isn't. It isn't.
It's like poutine or whatever, right? Like it's like more than one restaurant serves it, and more than one person has ordered it.
No. Nobody has ever ordered it. The hot dog guy was confused. He was like, he seriously had to like call Uber to get some cream cheese. Nobody's ever ordered it. It includes grilled cabbage on it.
I'll take your word for it. I don't remember. I feel like it had onions also, but I don't remember for sure.
It does. It has onion, warm cream cheese, mustard, and sauerkraut or grilled cabbage. And I remember you telling me about it. I thought at first you were joking when you said the ingredients because you were like lettuce and cream cheese, and I thought you were just naming foods you knew.
But then what? Then you looked it up or something, and then you saw it was the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it on the internet. Like, I'm not convinced that you aren't writing these articles, but yeah. Like, this is definitely an elaborate hoax. Brought to you by the Beaver Museum people.
There was that other museum with Marlowe's seeing and doing or something like that. The art of seeing and doing.
Yeah, the Miro exhibit.
Miro's art of seeing and doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went to that. We went there to the museum, and like, what was it? Like, a woman came in and she's like, we're gonna have a live flute performance or something like that, right?
Right.
Like,
we're the only people
thanks
in
for
a
warning
small
us.
room.
And then we leave. Like,
She was so excited that somebody had come in. And she was like, "Oh my god, you guys are here in time!"
The live loot performance. No, she's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
performance.
we're going to have a, and then we're like, oh, thanks for warning us. Yeah, so we can run away before
So we had
that.
time
The
to
guy was
go.
there too, and he was smiling, like the flute
Yeah,
guy.
he was.
He was like happy
Ready.
that he was gonna play his flute.
Aw.
And then there was another one where, like, there says we're gonna have interactive poetry writing or something.
Yeah.
And then we left, but there was someone else in the room too, and they left too. They were like, "Fuck this! I don't want to write interactive poetry. I'm here to look at shit, not to write poetry."
Yeah. It wasn't good.
And actually, I just made the connection. This is like 10 years ago or something like that, right? This is why it's called the art of seeing and doing. They want us to do stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Just now, 10 years later, I understood why they were making us do stuff at the Museum of Seeing and Doing.
Great. It was interactive.
Master Builder, you built a safe home for you and your kits. Home sweet home. So what do you think, kits? Says Bucky. Are we Bucky? It's bigger than the goose's house. We never saw the goose's house. Sorry, I'm just excited. Is this our home now? I know it's been tough since your mom's been gone, but we are safe here. Oh, so they are my kids. My kids. And the mom is dead? So it's like a Disney story? Bucky.
She's just gone.
Bucky, I think you've done a great job. ...
Having an affair with a
The goose.
woodchuck.
That's why we hate geese.
Yeah.
I think I might go for a swim. Chip. Just kidding. What, did his mom die from swimming? You know yeah, it did. Your mom got lost in the heavy currents. Don't scare me like that.
Yeah.
No, Bucky's needs to get over his trauma. He can't tell a beaver not to swim just because his mom died while swimming.
I mean, you can.
Bucky, you never said. It's okay, Dad. Let's play tag.
What? I don't think I understand. the
Beaver
character
style.
motivations.
Roll credits. This is just like the museum, right? Like, it's just, that was it. You saw the whole thing.
Good job. Good job. Would you like a tour?
What if we had said yes, right? What if, oh, resume game, there's more. That's the end of the story. You can now play around in build mode. In build mode, you can create, move, and remove almost all the objects in the game. Everything you build there can be explored by pressing continue on the main menu. Stay here or go to build mode. What do you think, Steph?
Thank you for that game. That was a game.
You don't want to go to build mode?
I don't
You don't want to stay here?
really.
Well, actually, there's
I'm
only
still
two.
grieving.
It's Sophie's choice. These are the only two buttons.
Beavers.
So which one?
I'm still grieving that Beaver's mother. I can't make a choice. I need some alone time.
All right, then let's go to build mode. Oh, build mode takes us to the main menu. Fly around the world. Spin an object. Move. Scale. Okay, let's build. Here's that dumb goose. Geese? The dumb
Move
goose.
goose. Apparently you can move anything. Move
Well,
it. This mode sucks.
rather than move it, I want to scale him. Yeah. No, you can't. Can I scale this? Oh, I can scale these. I can't scale the goose though.
Why would anybody want to do this?
Some people like building.
Building what?
Beaver stuff.
Your contention is that some people like building beaver stuff.
Yeah, like what's it called? Like diorama or whatever? You know, like when you in school you gotta build something and you can build like a beaver thing. I had to build a diorama of, was it like the some sort of French British battle or something like that on some hill? Maybe Napoleon was involved, I don't even remember. Some history class thing. They're like build a diorama of this specific battle. I'm like, okay, so like, there's gonna be hills, there's gonna be trees, grass, I don't know. And you can easily see that being like recycled for a beaver project, right?
What do you mean? You can easily see it being recycled for a beaver project.
Like,
what does that mean?
You see what you see here? This is what I built.
Yes.
This is what the battle at Hastings or whatever looked like.
And you liked that? And you were
no,
like,
I don't like it. But some people
game?
like it. Like some people have a hobby of building dioramas, right?
Some people have a hobby of recycling their Battle of Hastings diorama material to build a beaver world.
I don't know if that specific thing is true, but I'm saying some people have a hobby of building dioramas. And probably some of those dioramas are beaver themed.
Okay.
All right, I guess we've exhausted the content of this game. So that was oh, we didn't even get all achievements. You harvested your first batch of maple syrup. You collected every acorn and brought Woody a special giant acorn. Goose is getting slightly annoyed by your rambunctious kits. Willie wants to know the names of your beaver kits. You caught 20 fish. You know what? Let's talk about the California fires while I try to get these achievements.
Is catching fish a thing in this game?
That's what it said.
Did you catch any fish?
I didn't catch any fish. I'm assuming they're going to be in the water. So I'm going to look around in the water. Steph, there were fires in California.
I know, I'm in California.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you said you were like outside of any state or something like that.
Don't live in any state.
Safish? Dive. There we go. Hang on. Try to catch 20 fish. Don't worry, Bucky doesn't eat fish. He catches and releases.
Why?
Because it's ethical, I guess.
Is it?
I don't know. I never understood catching and releasing. Didn't the guy say he wanted his giant acorn or something?
Mm-hmm.
So, I heard that slightly before the fire happened in California, one of the major insurance companies canceled a bunch of policies for and the reason they canceled it is because they're like there's the risk of fire is too high, I guess, and so we don't want
to. You can't pass that to the consumer under California law.
Yeah,
they were like, we can't do it. We got to get out of the insurance game
because fires are very likely, and we don't want if we pay every time there's fire, we're gonna lose money. So we're just not gonna sell insurance for fire in this region.
Right.
And then, like you said, like there's this thing of like, well, why don't you just charge more, right, for the.
Yep.
But the government says you're not allowed to.
The state government, yeah.
You could try putting the goose in log jail. No, I want to give you this acorn. What? I was trying to get the achievement for giving you the acorn. How do I do that? Or is it a different Are they different gophers?
I think it's a different one. Yeah.
I'm being racist. I think all gophers look the same.
You're being gopher speciesist?
And then like I think the local government, state government also passed a law to say you can't cancel any more insurances.
I think so, yeah.
Which seems terrible, right? Like, I mean, because it just means like the insurance company's fucked now, right? Like,
yeah.
Because the whole point of insurance, it's not like, you know, like insurance companies magically have money, infinite money, and then you know, they give it out when accidents happen. The money comes from the people who subscribing to their insurance policies, right? The idea is like like most people on average don't have accidents, but if you do have an accident, it really sucks. So you're willing to pay, you know, a little bit in proportion to how likely you are to have an accident, so that we all pool our money together in a big pile. And then if any of us get an accident, we use that money to help that one person, right? That's like the ideological theory behind insurance. Yeah, why it's like a public good service. But like, if accidents are very likely to happen, then either you need to put a lot more money in the pool, or you shouldn't, you know, be allowed to claim insurance on it, because then it's going to drain all the money out of the pool, and then when someone else gets an accident, then we can't help them, right?
Right. We've been having this debate ever since America has tried to figure out getting more people on insurance or otherwise figuring out healthcare, because we both want/need everyone to have insurance, but also not pay much for insurance, and also continue to get everything covered by insurance. And unfortunately, it's a series of trade-offs, and we haven't quite figured out how to make it work to everyone's satisfaction.
I think it's the same groundhog. I think there's just one groundhog, because he disappeared from the air location.
Okay, give him his freaking acorn.
I'm trying to, but he won't take it.
Scale it up.
No, yeah, he's not taking it. Maybe I needed to give it to him when he was in the other location. But this seems to me one of those libertarian situations, right? Where like the private insurer has the incentive to make accurate risk calculations. You know, they looked at the area and says, this is going to be really bad for fire, so we don't want to insure for fire here. Which itself is a public service, right? Like it takes effort for someone to look at the situation and determine what the risks are. So them figuring out that this area is risky in terms of fire is valuable information, right? Like, and that should factor into saying, like, deciding whether to buy a home there and things like that. Whereas,
but people have already bought the homes there.
Whereas like a blanket, like we're forcing everyone to have insurance at a fixed price, you know, like not too expensive price cap, I guess, means that you lose access to that information, right?
Yes. I'm not sure like what your point is when you say you just started this with like this is one of those libertarian things. What you're trying to say?
I think like this is a situation where the libertarian position seems like favorable, like the right thing to have done. Whereas the government intervention thing seems to have led to a worse outcome.
Yes, but the problem is the government is accountable to people who would be affected by the quote-unquote ultimate right solution. So you end up with these difficult situations where you have actual people who can't go back in time and change things that you have to make some promises to, because either they vote or are organized or complain effectively or just for the PR nightmare. And you can't solve the problem optimally because of that. And then nobody has the incentive to solve it for the future either. And we just keep running into this.
That's something about building a jail around the goose, but I don't see how to do that.
Did say you can put him in log jail or something like that.
Yeah, but I was expecting one of those percentage bars again to say 0% of the jail built or something like that. I didn't see that. I also found a bucket. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this.
Maybe put a giant acorn in it.
I guess I could bring it to the giant acorn. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can do that.
Same.
What was... Oh yeah, I gotta find fish. That's for the achievement.
So if you're doing catch and release, are you just catching the same fish over and over again?
Yeah, the I think it's called ludonarrative dissonance, right? Where the story and the gameplay, there's a mismatch between the two. Because what happens is when I touch the fish, they disappear from the game world, right? We're talking about the Ludo aspect. So it doesn't look like I'm releasing them. But the narrative says that I am releasing them.
Body count.
Yeah. And so that is a struggle for some games sometimes. Different games handle them differently due to narrative dissonance. The stereotypical, or the prototypical example of Ludo narrative dissonance is your guy is supposed to be a hero, like the good guy, like from narrative. But in terms of the gameplay, the Ludo part, you're going around killing millions of people. Right.
Right. Which seems bad.
But I guess they were all bad guys, question mark. So that makes you the good guy?
They were all... Yeah, and they have to come up with something like they were all zombies or...
Yeah.
or enemies or geese. Oh, I bet the bucket is for making maple syrup.
Oh, what? Whoa. I don't know how to make maple syrup. I'm not. Is that bad as a Canadian?
Yes.
How do you make maple
I'm
syrup?
reporting you to Canada immediately.
All I know, okay, so I'm thinking back to my childhood, right? Like how much I know about making maple syrup. You pull something out of a tree, like this, I guess the syrup. You pull the syrup out of a tree, like you put a little pail and like you put a little spout into the tree, you nail it in, then you hang a bucket on it, and then like it drips into the bucket. And then you take that, and then somehow it gets hot, so I guess you boil it or something. You do something with it because it gets hot at some point. And then you pour it on snow, and then and then you take a little wooden, what's it called? Like a popsicle stick, I guess. And you stick it in the cold maple syrup, and you twirl it around, and then you eat it. That's my childhood exposure to maple syrup.
It's pretty good.
But there's like, I guess there's this like sight unseen part where between where you take the stuff that's in the bucket, and then now it's hot and you pour it on the snow. There's like a step in between there that needs to be figured out.
You boil it.
You just boil it? You don't like add sugar to it or something like that?
No, it is sugar. You can add sugar, but syrup is like it's sugar that the tree is basically trying to it has an excess of sugar that time of year because it's trying to feed its roots and that sort of thing, and it's just got a lot that it's producing, and so you can tap it. Usually you can put in about 5 taps per tree without really taking all of it, and you just take it sugar.
You put 5 taps per tree? I didn't see me put 1 tap per tree.
You can do about 5 per tree if it's a mature tree.
I probably would have figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said like you probably boil it or something. I guess the hard part is like if you're doing it from scratch, I don't know how to like build the spouts.
You just go to a hardware store.
Yeah, I would have to buy a pre-made spout.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, you know, like survival or something like that, like zombie apocalypse, right? You're trying to build a spout. I guess if you can get metal to be kind of, like even like a half pipe thing, and you just wedge it in there, probably that's good enough.
It just has to have like a little, I mean, it's basically like a tube. It's basically like a little pipe, yeah, and you just shove it into the tree. And it basically the sap, which is maple syrup, it comes out of like the equivalent of the tree's veins.
Yeah.
So you just have to tap it in there and it will come out. You just have to do it at the right time of year. That's the tricky part. You have to do it when it's sunny during the day but cold at night. Still, it has to warm up to above 43 during the day but still be cold at night.
Yeah, I'm thinking like if you're doing everything from scratch because zombie apocalypse, it might be hard to make a tube. So maybe if you just make even a U shape, that's good enough, right? Like that's what I mean by half pipe.
Probably, yeah.
Just wedge it in there, and stuff will drip out, and it'll be fine.
Right. And then when you do boil it, you have to like stir it all night long.
That sounds annoying. I wasn't gonna do that in my first attempt at the zombie apocalypse. I would just go do something else and come back and see how it turned out.
Yeah, like you need like a lot of syrup to concentrate it down. um, concentrated enough that it's sweet enough.
Did you see the latest Scott Alexander post?
I don't think so.
It's pretty oof.
Oh.
He's talking about IQ disparity across nations.
Oh.
So that's, you know, kind of a scary topic to talk about.
Yeah. I think I saw that and was like, no, thank you.
Judy says, in the case of the zombie apocalypse, I'm glad we can have other foods. Maple syrup may not be nutritional enough.
Good source of, you know, fast sugar if you need it for energy.
Well, it also sounds like one of the easiest foods to get. Like growing corn or whatever, like crops, sounds like a lot of work.
It's true.
Whereas just sticking a U-shaped piece of metal into a tree and then coming back later sounds a lot easier.
Except it turns out you have to do a lot of work after that.
Yeah.
But for you, you'd probably like gather berries. I don't know. That would make you have to touch nature, but less than you would if you had to grow corn.
No, but I think that would probably be one of my last resorts, because like I'm like, I don't know which berries are poisonous, right? That's like berries and mushrooms, probably the scariest thing for me to try to go eat. Whereas I'm like, I'm probably not going to die from drinking the wrong sap of a tree, you know?
Can you identify a maple?
Nope. Oh, okay. Maybe I could, because I know what the leaf looks like, right? From the flag.
You know what the leaf looks like.
So I'd look for a tree with that leaf.
It's hard in the winter, but you could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with berries, you know the red, white, and blue rule.
Nope.
Blue always, white never, red, you know, either okay or will kill you. And
that's
so
every
you can always have
berry.
a berry. You can always have a berry that's blue, and none of them are toxic or dangerous. You can never have a berry that's white.
I don't even know any white berries.
Well, there are some. And then red, you know, either
Push your
delicious or totally kill you. So what you do for red berries is you watch.
You eat 37 of them, and then you reject the next one.
The next berry right after that. Yeah, that's the rule. You watch to see if like deer and stuff are eating them, or bears. And if they are, then you're probably
then
good.
Go somewhere else, because the bear's gonna fuck you up when you start eating the berries.
But if you see, you know, a bear eating huckleberries or you're browsing on thimbleberries or something like that, you'll be fine.
Julie says fish is one of the easiest food.
That's true.
Nice.
Look how you're doing now. You've already caught and released 17 fish.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if I could catch fish in real life. I feel like I watch videos of people spear fishing, like standing in the river and like, you know, stabbing a spear.
Start with a net.
Yeah, but then I have to build a net, which itself sounds like, okay, you know, that's...
Well, it's after the zombie apocalypse, so I think there'll be lots of, like, stuff left around.
Yeah, I guess I'm doing, like, a worst case thing, right? Or not necessarily
So, like,
absolute
there's
worst.
still animals, but all of our stuff is gone?
Yeah, like, I can't find a net. Well, I'm stuck.
Oh, I see. You're like, oh no.
Get unstuck. Can I do it? I can get unstuck, but I didn't get unstuck.
You're hugely out in the wilderness trying to escape the zombies, and so there's no trash even, and you couldn't weave a net out of grass.
Well, I would have to know how to weave a net out of grass. See that? That's the part where I'm saying I don't know if I could do it.
But you can braid something, right?
I don't like. I'm thinking of how long grass is, and I'm trying to imagine braiding enough grass to make a net, and like, holy shit!
Not like short grass, like grass that is out in the wilderness, not like a mown lawn. Or each piece is
yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, like each one is the length of a toothpick, right? At best. So I'm weaving this, trying to make a net, and like I feel like this is like I feel like the maple syrup is gonna be easier than this. Like,
Jesus Christ. Oh no. Well, could you make it out of bark?
no. How do you weave bark into a net? What?
Like strips of it. No? Like strips of cedar?
Chucker, I don't even know what cedar is. Chucker says you can build a box shape with a funnel in a river and fish will get trapped. Oh, that's smart. That's way better.
Yeah, you could do that too with some bark.
You could take like tree branches, I guess. Swim into me, fish. Gosh darn it. I can't move anymore. Oh, there we go. I need to get 20 fish, but I can't move. So I need them to swim into me. This is my survival skill levels for zombie apocalypse.
That's terrible. Oh my god. Art is imitating life. It's rough.
Because I got caught in something. I don't even know what I got caught
I
in.
know, I know.
And now I just sit here. At least, I mean, I'm not gonna dehydrate. The only question is, I need food now, right? So I need fish to swim into my mouth.
You can't eat the fish.
Well, I'm saying if this were zombie apocalypse and I were stuck here,
Right.
I could just scoop some water and drink it, and then I just live here the rest of my life, right? In this river, hoping that fish swim by.
Wow.
Why does the get unstuck button not work? Hey, you come back! Ah, gosh darn it. So, okay, never mind zombie apocalypse. Imagine China sets off a neutron bomb, that kills all the humans. But, like, well, not all. I guess a few survive, and I happen to be one of them.
All the stuff is gone?
No, I guess...
Why would all of our trash be gone?
Well, no, all the stuff will stay. So, like, the first few days...
Can you just get it back?
I can, like, go to the grocery store or whatever and just grab some food, right?
Just the grocery store. Yeah, alright.
But then, like, after a few days, probably the power supply will fail. I think. My understanding is that power plants need, like, constant tweaking. Like, like, there's fail-safes, but after a couple of days, if no one intervenes, it's gonna shut off completely.
Yeah.
So now I don't have electricity anymore. So, can't, like... Stove might be difficult. Fridge is gonna be difficult.
Oh, get it!
Come back!
Why aren't you getting it?
I couldn't.
Why didn't you get it? That was terrible. Why did you let it swim into your butt?
I was facing it. What are you talking about? My face is always pointed towards the fish. Here comes another one.
Recreational.
But he's nowhere coming near me. Oh, I got it. Yeah, I don't know anything about farming. So trying to sustain myself is probably impossible.
Did you just read a book?
On farming?
I don't know how anymore because of TikTok.
No, I'm so I guess I can go to the library and then try to find a book on farming. Because otherwise, what would I do? I can't order a book on Amazon about farming, right?
No, but you could go find a book.
No, but it has to specifically be about farming, right? I can't just go find any book. And so where am I going to find a book about farming? So probably the library?
Encyclopedia?
I don't think the encyclopedia is going to give you a tutorial on farming. It's going to talk about the history of farming or some shit like that. It's not going to say, here's how you farm.
I mean, it might, but sure, go find a book on here's how you farm. Farming for dummies.
Yeah. And then and I just hope that the library has one of those, right? It's not obvious that the
you
library...
go to more than one library. What else you got to do?
Wait, no. Here's the thing. I don't even know more than one library in Seattle. So I don't know if Google Maps is still working at this point. I'm just like, I would have to like
I
walk around
cannot
randomly,
wait
explore the
until
whole
your
city,
zombie survival
looking for
movie.
libraries.
This is gonna be amazing.
You know, like I know there's the
Sure.
one big library in Seattle. That's the one I know.
Just go to one of the bookstores.
I don't even know where bookstores are. Who goes to bookstores anymore? I have to like find
Everyone.
bookstores now.
Yeah, they're
I-
everywhere.
I feel like I haven't seen a physical bookstore in the last like 5 years.
Okay. Here's what you do. When you get done terribly fishing for
It might be here. It might be here. Got it. Got it. Come on. You fuck. You fucker. Wait, he's coming back. You got him. We got it.
Jesus Christ. I would like you to look up where your nearest bookstores and libraries are.
I know where the nearest library is.
So
Well,
bad.
I don't know necessarily that's the nearest,
Get a
but I know where
couple.
a library is.
So that you could then go and look up some books as a survival strategy.
No, but you see, that's the thing. Like, in terms of
book,
in terms of
huge Barnes and Noble on 6.
in terms of expected utility, like it's not worth it, right? Like, because probably there won't be a zombie apocalypse or a neutron bomb or whatever.
Right, but it would save me from this conversation. So the expected utility is high.
We're doing like, you know, this extremely unlikely event would happen. Here's how I expect it to play out, right? Like, I don't know where bookstores are. I know where a library is, a big one. It's a pretty big
But,
library.
if you wandered around, like if you walked to that library, you would walk by
A
several
bookstore?
bookstores.
You think so?
And do you think you can recognize one?
I
Do you
think
know what a
so.
book looks like?
You see, you're being a little condescending here. Like we have different priors on the distribution of bookstores in Seattle, I guess.
Right.
Um,
I'm just making sure you would recognize one.
well, I mean, maybe not, right? Like, because some of them are trying this like boutique artsy look, and then might not be recognizably a bookstore from the outside. Like, if it might look more like a coffee shop, for example. Like, I might look at it and say, "Oh, that's a coffee shop," and not look inside and realize it's actually a coffee shop /
Right.
bookstore or whatever.
Right.
Although, like, you know,
Okay.
as my desperation increases, I'm going to be looking harder. But who knows?
Once you're knitting a net out of
From lawn grass, yeah.
lawn grass and trying to go out into Elliott Bay to catch fish, it's gonna be rough. All right, it is way past my bedtime,
All right.
so
Good night, Steph.
good night. Glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. So that was, what did we play? Beaver Cell. We only play one game. I was about to say, you know, almost every stream we play 2 games. I was about to say today we played 2 games, but today we played 1 game. We played Beaver Cell, and we spent a whole bunch of time with TikTok. Our last TikTok ever, maybe, depending on if it gets banned or not. My regular schedule is top left corner of the screen. Every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. That's about 2.5 hours ago in your time zone. We have the Steph's Thursday stream where we play puzzle games, technology games, that sort of stuff with my co-host Stephanie. Every Saturday, 6 p.m. That's about 4 hours ago in your time zone. We have the solo Saturday stream where I play a random game from a review queue. We got the Discord. Join the Discord for updates to the schedule. And then the announcements for off-schedule streams. Let's see. We got a stream every day for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, Friday, we're playing Node Farm. And then Saturday, we are playing Go Fight Fantastic with Magical Fun and Quirky Quacker. So look forward to that. And yeah, I think that's it. Thanks again for watching. I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of the Cap raid while I look for someone to raid.